Okay, welcome back to the channel. You're probably going to see this video the day after Thanksgiving. So if you're in the United States, happy Thanksgiving. And if you're from some other part of the world, just happy Thursday, I guess. Today, there's going to be just a few small tasks that I've got to do. I'm expecting the cylinders and heads and the fenders to come back anytime now. Actually, it might come back before this video's out, before this video comes out. So I've got to put the seals in the transmission. I've got to rebuild the left front caliper. I've got to rebuild the front master cylinder. And I have to put the oil pump on the motor. The oil pump I'm going to wait till last. And I also have to adjust the end play in the rockers. So you can see on this bench, let me show you. I have just a bunch of stuff over here that I need to clear a lot of this out. Most of it actually before the cylinders and the heads come back, because I want this bench clear. So what we're going to do, we're going to work on, I've already cleaned out the front calipers. I've got the rebuild kit here, which is pretty simple. One thing I did want to point out is I really had a rough time with this. I could not figure out how this went. And usually when I start a project like this, because this bike is not an FXS, the whole bike is not an FXS. It's parts from, looks like an early 90s Evo, especially the front end and the tires and everything. Those are all, they look like they're probably from a 90s Softail. In fact, on the fender, on the front fender, it said Heritage Softail on it. So I'm glad I took pictures, because I generally take dozens of pictures of how the bike is. Because I can't always go by a parts manual or service manual, because it is made up of a couple different bikes. And I couldn't figure out, like, the pictures that I took of this, I didn't really see the whole thing. And then I found this picture when I was taking it apart. So that kind of saved this whole thing, because now this piece here is where, let me get this, where the shift linkage goes right there. So I've got that set. We got the C-clips in here, so I still got to put a little bit of grease on this part. But anyway, I'm glad I solved that problem, because that was kind of bothering me for that. So you can see on this, it's pretty straightforward how to rebuild this caliper. By the way, I'm using a new GoPro, the GoPro 9 that I had. Just for some reason it keeps wanting to cut out, so I bought a new GoPro 12. I know 13 is the newest model, but I don't, I think pretty much the same stuff that goes on it. But this is really, that's all. It's part of the rebuild kit. You got these seals that go inside here for the pistons, and you got two O-rings that go there. So we'll do this real quick and get this one out of the way, then we can mount it on the bike. Okay, so we got these out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of .5 fluid. And I'm just going to pour just a smidge in here just to get the... Alright, so we just want to lubricate these seals before they go in, just so the pistons slide in a little easier. Okay, so we're starting this rebuild of this performance machine caliper. This is a pretty easy rebuild. There's only 4 of those O-ring types. They're not like regular O-rings. They're not round. They're actually flat-sided, and that's what the pistons sit in. There are 2 small O-rings that join each half of the caliper together, because that's how the fluid is passed between both calipers. So it's critical that you have those 2 small O-rings in there. We still got these little ones that we have to do. These little ones are kind of important because they seal the 2 sides together. So, all right, so we just take this and we just stick it in here. You can see there's grooves in here that this goes into. And they just go in like that. Just like that. Pretty easy. I've been wanting to do this for a while. But I just haven't had time the last couple days to do any of this, and I really want to get this done, these little small jobs done. So these performance machine calipers, they're pretty high quality calipers. You can see they're all cut out of block aluminum. They're not cheap. These 4-piston ones run generally anywhere between $500 and $700. I have not been able to find the brushed aluminum ones on their site. They only have like the black ones and the chrome ones. But these did come with a bike, and I do actually want to keep those because they are awesome calipers. And then we have these little O-rings here, which kind of go right there. Whoops. Goes there. Now, here's the thing that I'm not sure about. So we're going to push those in like that. But maybe before I put this on the road, I'll replace the pads. They don't actually need to be replaced, but you never know. All right, so I do just want to cut in here for a second and thank all my new subscribers, all the existing subscribers. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch these videos. I'm hoping that the fenders are going to come back soon because I really would like to start the electrical on this. And there'll be another video out shortly. I'm probably going to do a video in the middle of the week to do the front master cylinder rebuild. I'm probably going to take this apart again, like I said before I'm done, to replace the pads, but I do want to just get this, the seals and everything in and be done with it for now. So we can get rid of these seals. We don't need these. All right, so this is an area right here where I'm probably going to have to redo. The set of crush washers that I have were not the same thickness as the ones that came off of that. These ones that you see here are 0.76 millimeters, while the ones that came off the bike were 1.1 millimeters. So I double stacked the crush washers, which you can't do. It'll never make a correct seal if you double stack them, but those thin crush washers won't cause the bolt to screw all the way into the caliper. So I'm gonna have to get regular banjo bolt crush washers. Oops, that's not right. Okay, so we got this like this. I'm pretty sure that goes like that. I need some spacers for this. All right, it looks like on this left side caliper, I didn't use all the spacers that came off the bike, so I'm going to have to fool around this a little bit more. I don't really like the way that bottom bolt is riding so close to the disc rotor. It's really not that far away. I mean, the caliper is not a floating caliper, so I don't have to worry about it moving. The front end is not going to move in and out, and neither is the rotor going to move. But I really don't like it being that close, and I'll have to go look back at the pictures that I took to see if it was that close or if I'm just missing a couple spacers on there. Looks like that's okay. This is the tricky one. We got to get this bolt in here. All right, so I'm going to... All right, I'm going to have to adjust this because this really isn't right, but it's rebuilt. It's on the bike. Let me show you how close it is to the rotor. I don't particularly like. Look how close that is to the rotor. It's going to clear it, but because this is not a floating caliper, so caliper is not going to move. It'll be just the pads that move. But It looks like it's going to come out a little bit, so I might have to put another shim on the other side to get that lined up right. But anyway, that's done for now. Okay, I just want to thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.